In March 2002, a man disappeared off the coast of England. His damaged canoe was found by the shore, but no sign of him. Rescue teams searched the waters for days, and eventually authorities came to one conclusion: John Darwin was deceased. Until 5 years later, when he walked into a police station, very much alive. This is the unbelievable story of John Darwin, a man who disappeared at sea, and the bizarre fraud scheme that shocked the United Kingdom. Before becoming the center of an international scandal, John Darwin lived a relatively ordinary life. He was a former prison officer living in Seaton Carew, a coastal town in northeast England. He and his wife, Anne Darwin, appeared to live a quiet suburban lifestyle, but behind the scenes, financial problems were growing. Debt had begun piling up, and according to investigators, the couple was under increasing pressure. What happened next would turn their lives into one of Britain's strangest criminal cases. On March 21, 2002, John Darwin reportedly left for a canoe trip in the North Sea. Hours passed, and he never returned home. Soon a search operation was launched along the coastline. Rescue crews searched the water extensively, hoping to find some trace of him alive. Instead, they discovered his red canoe badly damaged near the shore. With dangerous waters and no evidence of survival, authorities believe John Darwin had drowned in a tragic accident. Friends, neighbors, families mourned what appeared to be a devastating loss. As the years passed, the case slowly faded from public attention. In time, John Darwin was officially declared legally dead. His wife collected life insurance money and pension benefits, reportedly totaling hundreds of thousands of pounds. To the outside world, Anne Darwin appeared to be a widow trying to move on after a tragedy. But investigators would later discover that the story was far from over. Then in December 2007, something extraordinary happened. A man walked into a London police station claiming he had lost his memory. That man was John Darwin, alive. According to his story, he remembered very little about the previous 5 years. News of his return exploded across the UK. The media called him the Canoe Man. At first, many people believed his bizarre explanation, but investigators quickly began noticing inconsistencies. Authorities started digging deeper into John Darwin's disappearance and his sudden return. The more investigated, the less believable his story became. Then came the breakthrough that changed everything. Journalists uncovered a photograph taken in Panama. The image showed John and Anne Darwin together, smiling for the camera. The problem? The photo had been taken during the years when John was supposedly dead. Suddenly, the entire case began to unravel. Investigators concluded that John Darwin had staged his own disappearance. The canoe accident had been carefully planned. Instead of dying at sea, Darwin allegedly went into hiding. According to reports, he secretly lived for periods of time in a concealed area connected to the family home. Neighbors had no idea he was there. The goal appeared to be financial escape, collecting insurance money and eventually starting a new life overseas. But maintaining the deception became increasingly difficult, and eventually the scheme collapsed under scrutiny. John and Anne Darwin were both arrested and charged with fraud. During court proceedings, the prosecutors detailed how the couple had carried out the elaborate deception for years. The story captured headlines around the world because of how unusual and strangely bold the plan was. Ultimately, both were convicted and sentenced to prison. They were also ordered to repay large amounts of money connected with the fraud. John Darwin was sentenced to 6 years and 3 months in prison on July 23, 2008. He pleaded guilty to deception and obtaining a passport fraudulently, with the judge calling his actions determined, sustained, and a sophisticated fraud. John Darwin was released from prison on probation in January 2011 after serving roughly half his sentence. Anne Darwin received a slightly longer sentence of 6 years and 6 months after being convicted of fraud and money laundering in July 2008. She was convicted of 6 counts of fraud, 9 counts of money laundering, totaling roughly £250,000 to over £500,000, after faking her husband John's death. She was released from Ashcombe Grange Prison in March 2011 after serving almost 2 years and 8 months. Courts determined the total benefit from the crime was just over £679,000, for which the couple was issued a confiscation order. Anne was ordered to give back almost £592,000. John was ordered to pay back £1 because he was apparently penniless. In 2014, though, police and prosecutors successfully petitioned a judge to revisit the confiscation order. John was then legally ordered to hand over £40,000 from his matured teacher and prison services pension. The Darwins owned land in Panama worth £232,000 and a £58,000 apartment in Panama City. The remaining nearly £300,000 was held in bank accounts in the Central American country. The worst part about this case is that John and Anne did not tell their children about it. So for 5 years, their 2 sons were mourning the death of their lost and presumed dead father. Now, it turns out that the children did eventually reconcile with their mother. And at the time, they were in their 20s. It's not like they were, 5 or 6 years old. But let me know in the comments below if you would forgive either parent. It'd probably take me a long time to do so. But thank you very much for watching. And if you like cases like this, please subscribe for more. Thanks again.